For centuries, the history of Daenerys Targaryen's dragons began in the distant Shadowlands of Asshai. But a different, much older record exists, one that follows a singular noblewoman and a fertile blue dragon named Dreamfyre. If these accounts are accurate, the eggs that eventually hatched in the Dothraki Sea were stolen directly from the royal hatcheries of Westeros. To properly trace how they finally left the Seven Kingdoms, we look back at Dreamfyre's first rider, Princess Rhaena Targaryen. Rhaena was the very first grandchild of Aegon the Conqueror. For the first 10 years of the dynasty's second generation, she was the only child born to the royal house, making her the primary hope for the family's survival. Following the royal line, the Conqueror's throne passed to his eldest son, King Aenys I. Rhaena was Aenys's firstborn child. By every law of birthright, the future of the crown was meant to flow through her blood. She was the one who established the Targaryen custom of bonding children to dragons from birth. When her younger siblings Jaehaerys and Alysanne were born, Rhaena placed a dragon egg in each of their cradles, a tradition that would define the house for the next 100 years. But her status as the first grandchild didn't protect her from the instability of his reign. As the faith militant rose in a bloody uprising, Rhaena's position became increasingly precarious, especially with her ruthless uncle Maegor waiting for an opportunity to seize the throne. Despite her dragon and her lineage, the politics of the era treated Rhaena as a commodity. Instead of being groomed as a future sovereign, she was used to forge alliances through marriage. Both she and Dreamfyre were eventually caught in a series of restrictive roles designed to serve the ambitions of the men around them. Rhaena was forced into 2 traumatic marriages. First, she was wed to her brother Aegon, whom was soon killed in battle by their uncle Maegor. Maegor then seized the throne and forced the widowed Rhaena to marry him, holding her young daughters hostage to ensure she became his Black Bride. Her escape came in the middle of the night. While Maegor was distracted, Rhaena stole the Valyrian steel sword Blackfyre and fled on Dreamfyre to support her younger brother Jaehaerys, who was gathering an army to overthrow the usurper. When Jaehaerys took the throne, Rhaena was again passed over for the crown because of her gender. Tired of the court, she settled on Fair Isle. It was there that she formed a close, intensely possessive friendship with a noblewoman named Alyssa Farman. But Alyssa wanted to explore the world, not live in a princess's shadow. When Rhaena refused to fund her voyage, Alyssa stole 3 of Dreamfyre's eggs and fled eastward. She reached the free city of Braavos, where she sold the eggs to the Sea Lord to build a ship designed for the open ocean. To King Jaehaerys, this was an existential threat, the terrifying possibility that a rival dragon lord might hatch a new power in a foreign land. He never realized that this theft was actually the only reason his family's dragons survived. By removing those 3 eggs, Alyssa kept them out of reach of the wars that would eventually kill every other dragon in the world. Back in the Seven Kingdoms, Rhaena's life reached a breaking point. Her second husband, Andrew Farman, had grown resentful of being ignored. In a fit of jealousy, he systematically poisoned every woman in Rhaena's inner circle before taking his own life. Shortly after that massacre, Rhaena's daughter Arya rebelled. She managed to claim the Conqueror's own dragon, Balerion the Black Dread, and disappeared into the clouds. More than a year later, Balerion slammed into the Red Keep courtyard, his massive hide covered in smoking wounds and half-healed scars. He had taken Arya back to the ruins of Valyria, where she had been infected by fireworm parasites. Her body was so hot, she was literally cooking from within, and she died shortly after the dragon landed. This concentration of grief stripped away whatever defiance Rhaena had left. She didn't want to rule or rebel anymore. She only wanted to find a place where she could be forgotten. She spent her final years in the melting ruins of Harrenhal. Together, Rhaena and Dreamfyre lived as reclusives, feeding the castle's reputation as a haunted fortress filled with Targaryen ghosts and the stories of stone dragon eggs hidden in its towers. After Rhaena died, Dreamfyre was brought back to the Dragonpit in King's Landing. She eventually bonded with her final rider, Queen Rhaena Targaryen. Both of Dreamfyre's riders were mothers whose lives were dismantled by the violent deaths of their children. By the time the Civil War began, Both dragon and rider had been driven into a state of deep mourning isolation. That silence ended during the storming of the Dragonpit. As the city fell into chaos, thousands of rioters broke into the pit, swarming the chained dragons with nothing but spears, axes, and desperation. Dreamfyre was the only dragon to break her chains. She incinerated hundreds of attackers before a crossbow bolt caught her in the eye. Half blind and driven mad by the assault, she hurled herself directly at the stone dome above. The impact cracked the ceiling, and the entire roof collapsed inward, burying Dreamfyre and the mob beneath thousands of tons of rubble. Rhaena Targaryen and Dreamfyre lived and died in cages, limited by their status, their grief, and eventually the stone walls of the Dragonpit. But because of 3 eggs stolen a century earlier, their bloodline outlasted the collapse of their house, waiting for a different Targaryen queen to bring them back to life.